is to start off on the right foot in every journey that you seek to embark on, just as the foundation of every building that you seek to have. It's very important. Thank you very much for staying tuned to PCG TV. In Thy Light, There is Light. And welcome to the maiden edition of the Entrepreneurship Clinic on the PCG TV. And we are saying that stay tuned with us. If you're a seasoned entrepreneur, if you are someone with a business idea who seeks to run a business one day, then you are in the right place. And we are hoping that you get more people to tune in so that we can have a very nice conversation about Entrepreneurship Clinic. And this is brought to you by the Development and Social Services Department in collaboration with PCG TV and sponsored by the Salem product. And so we are grateful that we have you here. My name is Mavis Nakole Ayi. Stay tuned with us. Thank you very much once again. And with me in the studio today, we are going to have a conversation on how to start your year right. In January, or as we have our January edition of the Entrepreneurship Clinic, the question we are asking, how prepared are you for the journey ahead? How have you set your goals? How do you intend to stay with your goals, and how do you intend to achieve them with all the realistic goals and the very ambitious ones that you seek to have on your agenda or on your sheet? It's important that you find ways that you can stay composed so that you can attain all the goals that you set for yourself, especially if you're an entrepreneur. And it's good to have you here. And so, like I mentioned, with me in the studio is the person of Reverend Ebenezer Ahinkan Owusu, who is the Public Relations Officer of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana and also the Minister in charge of El Perez Congregation.
Yeah.
Also with me is Henry Nidote, who is the Country Head, Marketing and Corporate Communications at UBA Limited. Welcome, Papa, and then Marketing and Corporate Affairs personnel.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here. And maybe I should say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Because you're meeting for the first time in 2025.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, so just to start with you, Nidote, how do you feel about the new year already?
Well, a lot of interesting prospects for the new year. To the glory of God, the year has started very well. And I can only look forward to exciting and greater opportunities as the Lord leads and directs us.
Interesting to hear. As the Lord leads us, very important, because we are also going to focus on the biblical perspectives of how we can start our year properly. On that biblical note, let me come to Reverend Ahinkan. How is it feeling for you?
Yes, the feeling is positive, I would say. We have seen the hand of God moving through with us in the year 2025 that we've just started. And I believe with the direction and our focus on God, we are really on point. God is with us. He has never left us. And so if we are able to start right with Him, then we know for sure we will end right.
I'm liking the energy already, because with the Lord with us, we are actually able to go through it. And just like we always say that He's the Alpha and Omega. It's a very interesting thing that we shouldn't forget about. And so with you, Reverend Ahinkan, we are talking about starting right from the biblical and then the corporate and perspectives as entrepreneurs. For you, what does it mean to start right? What are the elements that we are supposed to take note of?
Well, thank you very much, Mavis, for that. When we talk about starting right, in the sense of being a Christian, Jesus Christ, as the Bible says in Revelation, that He says that I am the Alpha and the Omega. He is the beginning and He is the end. And therefore, to start right is to begin everything that you are doing with Christ. Sometimes we fail to start with Him, and in the course of the journey, when the storm is getting higher, then we are going to look for Him.
Remember Him.
Then we remember that He is around. Like the disciples, they were using their strength to calm the storm and then get water from the boat. But when they remembered that, hey, He is with us, they went to wake Him up. But we need to start the entire journey of 2025 with God, so that even in our planning, He will walk us through. Even as we are thinking of entrepreneurship, when we are thinking of our businesses, we're thinking of our family, we're thinking of traveling, we think whatever we are thinking of, we start our journey with Him. And because He is starting with us, for sure, the journey we may face storm, but if Jesus is in the boat, we will smile at the storm, and for sure we will get to the destination that we are heading to.
I'm very happy that you're bringing this up and mentioning family, mentioning traveling. That is to say that entrepreneurship is not just about you starting a business or you owning one and then you running one, but there are other things you need to take care of, because in one way or the other, they all impact the kind of business that you seek to run. Because if you don't have sound mind in your family, definitely
of course,
you wouldn't be able to run your
You'll
business.
be sick already to even start anything.
We don't want to be sick. Let me come to Nidote. How is it for you as entrepreneurs seeking to start right? What are the things we should take into consideration so that we don't go sideways and then we begin to find ourselves wanting?
Thank you, May. It's important for every person in business, entrepreneur, starting small, having an idea that you want to start off, to, as it were, develop what we call a strategy. Okay. Now, a strategy is not a very big thing that people, except how people tend to think, but it's just a matter of putting your ideas and plans together on paper. So putting them down to help you track, monitor, and adjust where need be, so that you can achieve your objectives firmly. Now, after you've put the plans down, you need to now look at the resources that you need to help you achieve those objectives. So what is the human resource that you need? What are the financial resources that you need? What are the technological resources that you need? And what's the market available for you to go to sell the products or the ideas that you are developing or coming up with? So after you've done that, then you will say that you have a strategy. A lot of the time, we also think that, okay, I can't do a strategy by myself, so I need to get somebody to come and help me. They'll charge me a lot of money.
A consultant.
I mean, as Presbyterians, we say we look at the holistic ministry, right? So we're not only interested in developing or preaching the gospel, but at the Department of Development and Social Services, be it at the local, at the district, at the presbytery or national levels, there are some resource persons available. And I'm sure if you approach your directors, they will help you with people who can help to shape your strategy and help you to ensure that you have the right elements in there to guide you on the path of success. But one of the most important things for us to develop business is to look at your finances. So you need to set your financial goals, because if you need to hire people to help you drive the business, you need to pay them a salary or a wage. So how many people do I need? How much can I pay them? And what can I afford? So financial resources is very, very important. Then you ask yourself, if you determine what you need, what technology you need to put in place, what equipment you need to have to help you develop this, where are you going to get the money from? I often advise entrepreneurs that don't start off your business with debt. Don't go to a bank for loan. Don't go to a Gap to go and take a loan to start off your business. Starting off a business, the best place you can is to get some bit of help from family and friends, because you're not too sure how profit is going to go. So if you start off with debt and you're unable to generate enough revenue to pay off the debt, then you collapse the business from the onset. So start by what we say lean and mean, small, and grow the business. And as you begin to see how the business is growing and the prospects that are coming in, then you can begin to introduce debt into your business. So for a start, have a strategy, identify the resources that you need, and plan your financial resources by setting your financial goals and identifying where you can get the funding from to support your business.
That's a great one. I see networking coming in from this, that even with you starting, there's a need for you to find the people who can be of great help, so that you don't start and then you find yourself wanting, or you find yourself in debt. I see, let's be a little practical here for Ghanaian youth. We see a lot of changes happening already in this first month of the year, and like change of governments and institutions being changed. A lot of changes are happening. And so how do people around and people that are watching us and are wanting to start well, how do they factor all of these changes into whatever goals they seek to set for themselves and whatever they want to achieve? How do they factor it in so that they can do better?
Okay. Change, we say, is the only constant of life.
Yeah.
And so change will constantly be happening. We will continuously evolve and changes will be happening. And I think that it's important that when change happens, you take advantage of the opportunity or the time and look at the areas where you can leverage from the changes. having listened to, well, we have a change of government, a new president is in, having listened to the president and the ministers that have been nominated and appointed, you see a very clear area that they are going to be a lot of focus on youth, jobs, and employment. So, with, for example, the new Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment, you see that there's a clear focus there. So, as a Presbyterian youth starting business, have you taken your time to understand and study the plans that the government have for you to go to look at what you can get to help your business? There are also other private people and development areas where you can get free funding from. There are lots of funding available from the Africa Development Bank for young people. There are funds available for women entrepreneurs. And from where I work in UB on day to day, the group chairman and founder of UBA, Mr. Tony Elumelu, has what we call the Tony Elumelu Foundation, where every year they give out $5,000 seed capital free money for people who apply. And therefore, I'll encourage you, if you are watching us today, log on to tefconnect.com, and you see the opportunities available. It's a bit of a rigorous process. They offer you mentoring, they offer training opportunities that help you to develop your skills and the ideas that you have. That's how you can develop, and the opportunity is open from now to the end of March. So after 31st March, you stand the chance of winning $5,000 US. And I can testify to Presbyterians who have been able to benefit from this funding and how it has transformed their businesses. So take advantage, look out for these opportunities and tap into them, because you can win money, free money that goes into your business to help you to develop your business and to grow bigger.
Definitely, there's no freelance. So if you are watching us, this is an opportunity that has come already. We are just starting the show, but there are lots of things that are coming up, and it's important that you find a notebook and a pen and start writing something, because keeping them in your head, if you don't take care, you get to forget about it. It's still the Entrepreneurship Clinic show you are watching, and that is brought to you by the Department for Development and Social Services in collaboration with PCG TV. And with me here, we have Nidote and then Reverend Ahinkai. I'll be giving you their profiles as we go along the show. But we are going on, in fact, we are going on a short break. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Entrepreneurship Clinic, brought to you by the Department for Development and Social Services in collaboration with PCG TV and sponsored by the Salem products. And so do well to get some of our products. We have shea butter, Salem water, cereal mix, groundnut paste, branded tissues, hair food, and also body lotion. And so do well to get some of these from any of the Presbyterian institutions that you find around you. And we are having a conversation on starting right, the biblical and the corporate perspectives of starting your year right, so that you can achieve whatever aims that you have set as an entrepreneur, as a seasoned business person, and anybody with an idea who seeks to start a business very soon. This is the right place to be, and it's important that you take a lot of notes here, because at the Entrepreneurship Clinic, which is an initiative for skilled personnel like you, it's important that you join us each and every last Thursday of every month. And this is the first edition we are having on the PCG TV from our webinars, if you have ever joined us. And with me in the studio is Henry Nidote, who is the regional head for marketing and corporate communications, UBA Limited, and also Reverend Ahinkai, who is the minister in charge of El Perez Congregation and also the public relations officer of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. And so far, we've mentioned some of the things that you need as an entrepreneur, as a young person having an idea who wants to start a business, what you need to do, how you need to set strategies, not needing to start so big and then you end up in debt, but starting small and being able to scale it up. It's very important to have that at the back of your mind. And so straight to Reverend Ahinkai, for you, he has spoken a lot about setting the strategies and being able to put them on paper. Sometimes you find a lot of young people, we have ideas, we have plans, but we keep them in our heads and we don't write them, thinking that, oh, we won't forget about them. Then in the first month, second month, you forget it and you don't know what direction you are going as a person. From the biblical perspective, what should we be looking at as young people so that we maintain that composure we start from the 31st night, we go to pray about a whole lot of things. How do we go about all of these difficulties?
Thank you very much. There is something that we need to understand, that vision leaks. If you
Please
have
take that again.
vision leaks.
Okay.
So if you create a concept, you have a vision, you want to do something, you have you are visualizing something that you want to do, and you don't pen it down, you don't look at it, break it into sub areas that you're going to work on it, make it so practical for you. By the time you realize it's in my head, and you will not do anything. The whole thing is that we need to be conscious and intentional with whatever we want to do. Like he mentioned, you do not, if you are an entrepreneur and you want to start something, you don't imagine it so big above you, and you say that, oh, my vision is big, because we sing the song dream big, as big as the ocean. Sometimes if you dream so bigger than yourself, the ocean will swallow you. What I would say is that the Bible says that whatever your hand findeth to do, do it with all your mind and strength. That means that there is nothing little in the presence of God. If you look at the life of Jesus and his interaction with people, you realize that out of the little things that we have, the boy with the 2 loaves of bread, 3 fishes, the little that he had, when God blesses it, then we get more. And the Bible says that it is the Lord that maketh the rich. So the little things that are coming, the little ideas that are coming in your head, just pen them down, write them, book them down, look out for how you will be able to go about it. Pray about them. In fact, when we say God is blessing us, it is not like somebody will knock your door and give you food every day. But God's major blessing of God is giving you ideas about how to tap into your time and season in order to make something out of it. He mentioned that looking at the system as we running it in the government, you look at the way the government is setting things, you realize that youth empowerment will be one of the key features with the current government. As a youth entrepreneur, you just tap into it and know that this is the direction of the government. This is how he's going to work things. He's into how people can start their own businesses and the rest. During the the campaign time, we heard some of these things. Now, if he is making the youth an empowerment ministry, then you know the direction. Quickly, you tap into it. This is the wisdom God gives to his children. You tap into, how do you tap into it? Look out for what the direction of the ministry, and then you also work into it prayerfully, and you allow God to guide you. I want to mention also about the networking. It is said that if you want to go far, go alone. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with somebody. The whole point of it is that sometimes when you are starting some of these things, you may feel, I don't want anybody around me. I want to do this all by myself. I want to stay focused. Focus is not lost when you are networked with others.
With the right
Focus
people.
with the right people. And in the Bible says that in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. And therefore, sometimes the path you're going to work on, I want to sell egg on my head. Let's say that is what you want to do. Or you want to sell oranges. Now, as you are envisaging this project, what are some of the things you need to put in place? Sometimes there is somebody who is already in the egg business or in the orange business. You will consult these people. They are all in your churches. In the Presbyterian church, they are all there. Yeah. You talk to somebody. This is what I want to do. What are some of the ideas the person can give to you? Okay, if this is what you want to do, look out for A, B, C, D, a direction for you. It gives you the focus. If you have a focus and the focus is giving you the wrong direction, you will be running, but at the end of the day, you realize that you already missed the mark. And that is the point that if we are Christians, we must set and start our things right. Starting right is that we allow the Spirit of God to lead us in our business line, and so that every gift that is in us will be harnessed into the giftings,
Great.
and we'll be able to
Great.
succeed.
That's a great one. In fact, a whole sermon. And anyone that is watching, please.
If there's
you
a
should, you
sermon,
should be
then
tapping
the
into
offering
it.
must come now.
The table, yes. We'll start putting the money on it. Yes, but let me come to you, Nidote. We find a lot of young people, very ambitious goals and all of that. But what are some of the things that we seek to miss? For you being in the public relations and corporate affairs at your UBA, what are the things that young people seek to miss? They don't pay attention to it, and then in the end, they find that I am missing something, but it's too late to maybe catch up. What are some of those things that you can highlight for us?
I'll give you a couple of things, and let me start off from where Ahinka ended. He spoke about focus, keeping your focus. For me, focus is an abbreviation,
Okay.
which means follow one course until successful.
That's
Follow one course until successful. There are a whole lot of distractions around us. So if you set your mind to go into business, it's not going to be easy. It's not easy. But if you keep your focus and follow that path and keep your eye on the ball, you will get to your destination. The second point I want to make is that we are not disciplined. When we start to think, oh, it's my own thing, so you do it anyhow you like. You wake up at 6 today, the next day you wake up at 10 a.m. We've got to be disciplined. Hard work pays. And so you've got to ensure that create a routine for yourself. You need to be disciplined. Ensure that if it's your own business, I mean, I work for somebody and I put in, 12 to 14 hours a day. If I'm doing my own business, because it's my own business, I do 5 hours. I said I'm tired. I close when I like. No. You've got to be disciplined. You've got to keep a focus and ensure that you create a certain routine. Now, apart from creating a routine, one of the things that I say, and last Sunday, my Osofo preached about strategic positioning. We've said a whole lot of things about, and I kind of enumerated things about the government and all that. Position yourself strategically to go to tap into the opportunities available. I define success as preparation, waiting for opportunity.
Okay.
So there are lots of opportunities available, and you need to prepare yourself so that when the opportunity comes begging, you will be ready to tap into them. So you're going to start a business. You want to go into water production or get a franchise from Salem Water to produce water. Do you understand the market available? Do you understand the various things available to you to help you to be successful? Do you need to go to school or take a short course or join an entrepreneurship clinic on PCG TV to learn some skills such that by the time an opportunity is coming, you are prepared for that opportunity, and that's the way you can be successful. So you need to keep that focus. But in doing all of these things and the earlier issues that we spoke about, you need to create a budget. We spoke about financial resources and all of that.
Yeah.
We need to create a budget that helps us to separate our personal financial issues and the things we need for self and the things we need for business. A lot of the time, people that run their own businesses, and because we register as a sole proprietor, we are not able to separate our personal financial issues from what the business needs to go to flourish. So you need to draw a deep line, not a very a thin line,
line.
so that
we need a deep
today
one.
go and take,
It punches holes into the other.
Exactly. You need to have a very clear demarcation between what you want to live on. A lot of the time when we start a business, we see the money coming in, then our lifestyle changes. So from where we used to take a very simple breakfast and follow the things, now you eat a buffet. We start eating breakfast at Kempinski and moving pick and
arrive.
Yeah, we've arrived. We think we've arrived. But we need to keep our focus, follow the plan, and distinguish between our personal financial resources of what we need for us to be able to live by on our personal level and what the business need to develop, because we need to plow back the money that we make into the business to grow. Remember, we said at the beginning that we have to start lean and mean. So we start small. But as we begin to make more money, we need to use that to expand the business so that we can develop or create more opportunities by the money that we're applying back, so we can create more wealth. Wealth creation doesn't come, it's not an event. It's not an activity.
Okay.
It's not an event. It's a process. So as you get more money, you need to plow back the money into the business. And that's how you can grow and continue to create more wealth for yourself and for your business.
Wealth creation is not an activity. It is definitely a process. And let me come to you
Yeah.
for that, even as we go for a break. And before that, what do you think that we should know? We are setting ambitious goals. What are some of the realities we should take into consideration? Because sometimes you forget that maybe you know the family you are coming from and all of those things, but
Yeah.
you just forget and set very big goals, and in the end, you don't do anything.
Thank you very much. So to be able to set realistic goals for yourself, first of all, look out for the resources you have. Look out for the things that are very readily available for you.
Yeah.
Sometimes things that you know that it may not be necessarily costing you so much in order to even start. Sometimes you may have the raw materials within your environment, and per the wisdom God has given to you and the giftings God has given to you, you use some of those things that you have, and then you are able to turn it around. For instance, this table we have here, you can just look out for some few materials around you, and you are putting something together. So making things so realistic, one, we need to first of all look out for the way we can start mean, just as he mentioned, so that we are not looking at it so big that somebody has to finance you so big before you are able to do. And everything that is big also have its small shapes. And therefore, whatever you are dreaming so big, look out for how you can start in small quantities. So if I want to open a big furniture shop that I will be selling in so many branches, it wouldn't start straight away with so many branches. You don't look at media just a menyesika be store waha and sana metimia starting my business. For all you know, in your home today, because of technology, you can be in your bedroom and be a marketing seller on top of anything, selling things.
Definitely. We'll continue the
All right.
conversation, but we are going for a short break. And when we come back, we'll continue Entrepreneurship Clinic on PCT TV in Thy Light, There is Light. Don't go away. Welcome back to Entrepreneurship Clinic on PCG TV, where this initiative is brought to you by the Department for Development and Social Services in collaboration with PCG TV and sponsored by the Salem product. And so we have different kinds of products for you: shea butter, Salem water, cereal mix, groundnut paste, branded tissues, hair food, and body lotion. So find any of the institutions, Presbyterian institutions, and then you can get hold of one of the products. They're very good, and so do well to get some for yourself. And today we are having a conversation on starting the year right, the biblical and the corporate perspectives that we need to know as entrepreneurs, as people who have the intentions of starting a business, wanting to run a business, or you have any kind of idea you want to share to solve any particular challenge that you've identified wherever you find yourself. This is where you should be. And we are having this conversation so that you can prepare yourself properly for the year that is ahead of you, because we have just started. This is the first edition in 2025, and we have a long way to go. So it's very good that you are here with us. And so keep watching. With me in the studio once again, we have Henry Nidote, who is the regional head for the marketing and corporate communications at UBA, and also for the Anglophone West Africa. And so it's important that you have such an expert in the studio who is educating you on starting right. So please take your notebooks and pens. If you haven't started writing anything, this is the time to write something. And also with me is Reverend Ebenezer Ahinkan Owusu, who is the Public Relations Officer for the Presbyterian Church of Ghana and Minister in charge of El Perez Congregation. It is actually the name for me, El Perez.
El Perez.
Those of us using Emmanuel, Bethlehem. Yeah. But so we left off on a very good note, talking about how we can set realistic goals so that we consider all the things around us, look at your environment and know what you can do and some of the difficulties, and even considering some of the risks that you may not be in control of. so that you can set realistic goals for yourself? I don't know if you'd want to add something before we move on.
Mr. Dote mentioned that we should be mindful of the fact that you will not start business on a debt. Sometimes you want to go and borrow money and start a business, and by the time you realize you are already, somebody you'll be running away from the business. And so that is the point I was making, that we can start businesses without so much. The little support that you have, something little you start, out of it you generate, you infuse your money into it, you continue, then you get the right ideas, you get the right counsel, you get the right direction of how the business must go, so that it helps. That is why it is very important to be in a church like the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. This is a church that has almost everything within, and therefore, even if you are stuck somewhere, you don't understand the next line of action, you will get somebody within who is filled with Christ, guiding you in business. Again, starting it right means not starting with a dubious activity or a dubious step. Sometimes people want to start business and they are looking out for how to dupe somebody, how to cheat somebody in order to get something to do, and right away your business or your mindset is already wrong. And therefore you, whatever you will build on will collapse one day, because you have laid the wrong foundation. And therefore, if we are entrepreneurs, we are business people, we want to enter into different ventures, it is important that we look out for the fact that we are not going to steal people's ideas in order to make ourselves rich and make them bad off or something worse off. We need to collaborate, we need to love one another, and by so doing, we will be able to harness the skills and gifts God has given to us.
Great. I think that was a very good one, because now we are looking for money from all different kinds of sources, because we think those are normal. And we don't see the need to start at the right places, and wherever we get the money from, once it is money.
Example, some of these women, young ladies, they want to start business, they want somebody to give them money, and they end up misbehaving and defiling themselves, all in the name of Nami Pesikadia business. And by the time you sikasa na open, the amount they will be mentioning, you are like, what at all are you going to start? How do you even start it? They don't even have any plan. They don't have any idea whatever they want to start. All that they are thinking of, life is about money. And but if you watch PCG TV, Entrepreneurship Clinic, you understand the fact that starting some of these things, you may not need even a dime from anybody, but the right resources around you, the things that people feel it is not necessary. God will ask Moses, what is in your hands? And he will say, a rod. Jesus will say, what do you have? We have just 2 fishes. The little around you, he will just tap into it, give you the right ideas into it, and you will see your business booming. And so starting right with God is always important.
We should tap the resources from the right places, so we don't end up failing our businesses or starting big and then finishing small. That's not how it's supposed to be.
One is a failure.
Yeah. Yeah. So for you, Nidote, we are still talking starting right and how we can enter into business well. And for those already in business, how they can continue well, because it's a new year with new things starting. But the question I keep asking myself is, how important is it's a new year, so we need to start something right? Aren't we just continuing from where we left off the previous year? How important is reflection of the previous year in our starting right for the new year?
So thank you. It's a very, very important thing to do at the beginning of the year. So when we spoke about focus earlier, but I said that as you keep your focus on what you are doing, there may be the need to change your strategy. There may be a need to change your way. So you are moving from, say, Osu to Adabraka. You can go through the Stadium Road and use the road in front of the the Parliament House, reach roundabout and get to Adabraka. You could also go through Dankwa Circle, go through the police headquarters circle, and end up in Adabraka. So you may have taken a certain path that you are going. But it may be important that along the line that you change the route, you make amends to your plans that you have so that you can keep the course or keep your focus. The other thing that I would like to bring in at this point is to do your tax planning. Remember when the Pharisees and the disciples went to Jesus to ask, is it right for one to pay tax? He gave them an answer. He said, give unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar and to God what belongs to God. Many of us think that when we are doing business as Christians, we don't want to pay tax. But when you are starting off in business, it's important to do your tax planning. Because if you do it very well, you have opportunity to get some tax reliefs. So know the industry you are going into, know the limits that are there, know when the reliefs you have and when it's up to. Where you don't have any relief, plan your taxes as part of your business. Because when you do that, you're able to fulfill your tax obligations and also continue to run your business, and you will grow. Because if you want to offer your business to certain corporate organizations or go somewhere, they'll ask you for a tax invoice. Because without a tax invoice, they will not patronize your business.
Sure.
So you need to be registered for tax and do your VAT, your returns and everything.
Okay.
You may say that, but I'm not an accountant. How am I able to do this? Again, like we mentioned, DSS may have the resources to help you to go through this. But it's not a very complicated situation at all. Very, very easy and simple. You get the right people, they will help you to go through that without having to spend a lot of money to that. Again, it's important to create an emergency fund. So as you do your business, create a fund where you put in 100 CDs, 5 CDs, 1,000 CDs here and there. So that where you need to, at some point, acquire some tools to help you expand, there's a base you have created to help you acquire that. Because even when you want to go in for a loan to acquire, to do what we call asset financing, there's somebody who will say, oh, equity funding. So you need to bring some part of the money, and then the institution that is giving you the loan will also support you. So how do you create that equity funding if you don't have an emergency fund or a fund that you have created to help you support? Because there's a difference between your regular cash flow for managing your day-to-day operations of the business and what you need to invest in capital assets. But you may not have all the money available. So create an emergency fund that helps you to build up base for your equity finance, so that when you go to GAP or to the Victory Microfinance or Victory Credit Union or Takumun or Hope Microfinance and other instruments within the Presidential Church of Ghana, or even to your regular commercial banking, you'd have created a base that helps you to provide your equity financing to help you acquire the thing. Again, as you begin to go into debt or creating loans, create a portfolio for your debt management, so that you are not there and at the end of the month you have to pay your loans up, but you've spent all the money or use all the money to say you are creating or you are jumping back into the business. So create a portfolio to help you do your debt management. Again, invest in your growth.
Okay.
It is important to invest in your growth by adding value to yourself, adding value to the business. Like I can say, there are a whole lot of people who have walked the path that you are walking. So how are you learning from them? What lessons are you picking from people who have gone ahead of you? And what you can learn from them to invest in the business. The final point I will make before I pause here is looking at insurance and risk management. Many of us don't want to take insurance. And even for the vehicles that we drive, if it wasn't compulsory, we will not take insurance. But you are in a good place because you have Trinity Insurance Brokers available, which is part of the Presbyterian system. So you don't have to sweat. Walk into Trinity, place a phone call to Trinity Insurance Brokers, and they'll give you advice on what you need to do to secure the investment that you are putting into your business, so that when the unforeseen happens, you'll be able to recover your part of your investment to put you back on the right track. So understand the risk that you are going into, what the shocks that can impact negatively on your business are, and put in place the right kind of insurance. And I'm sure that Trinity will be more than happy to walk us through the things we need to do, so that should anything happen, that we can be able to recover, pick up the pieces, and bounce back because we have some cover from insurance that helps us to continue driving our business.
Those are very key points. In fact, it is like a business consultation. So if you are not listening, this is actually a clinic. So that whatever challenges you have, this is the right place you can get answers from. For you, Reverend Ahinkan, how easy is it for people to adjust? Because you mentioned that so that you can review and then sometimes take a different path if things are not going well. How easy? What are the things we need to do to adjust so we don't say that, okay, I'm in the wrong path, but I don't know, I'll just continue like that.
Okay.
What do
So what will make it very easy for us to be able to make adjustment as we go is being humble enough to eat the humble pie and say that I was wrong. Maybe the direction I took was wrong, or whatever how I started it was wrong. Even in leadership, sometimes you may be energized for some cause and you be starting some path, but in the course of it, you realize that no, this is not how I envisaged it. This is not how I want it. It is just to make a retreat, reflect through what you are going through, look at it that is it heading me towards the destination I am looking out for. And so for us to be able to really make adjustment is whenever you see the red light showing ahead of you, do not see yourself as a superhuman, and do not be too over spiritual and say that, oh, when I get there it will work.
when I get to the bridge, I'll cross.
You sometimes you get to the bridge and you cannot cross. You just have to stay behind, and people will be going whilst you cannot make a step. It's not like as soon as you get there everything will fall into place. As God is giving you sometimes it is by grace that you are able to even project ahead of you to see that no, if I make this step, I will crash here. So let me take it this path. And so as soon as you realize that there is the path is wrong, humbly you look out your plan, go out your smart, your specific goals that you have set, check them again, see where you can adjust one or two things. Maybe you wanted to start with 100,000 and you realize that borrowing money is going to be a problem for you. So why not start with the 1,000 cedis in your hands, the 500 cedis in your hands, the little in your hands? So it is about humbly assessing what you have. And then again, what will help us to really adjust is that we listen to God also in our business. Sometimes we try to create a dichotomy between our businesses and our Christian faith. Just as you mentioned, like your taxes, your things that you do. In fact, God is in our business. God is part and parcel of our businesses.
Definitely
and
part
we
of
must
it.
not take him out of it.
We will take that again because we definitely have to hit on that so hard for our viewers to take note of that. It is still Entrepreneurship Clinic brought to you by the Department of Development and Social Services in collaboration with PCG TV. In Thy Light There Is Light, and we are talking starting your year right from the biblical and corporate perspectives. And this is the conversation we are having for you to also take a cue to start your year right. And so be with us right here. We'll be back. Welcome back to the Entrepreneurship Clinic brought to you by the Department for Development and Social Services in collaboration with PCG TV and sponsored by the Salem products, different range of products here: shea butter, Salem water, cereal mix, groundnut paste, branded tissues, hair food, and body lotion. So get to any of the Presbyterian institutions, and also at the head office you can get any of these products. If you want to sell or you want to trade in these products, you can also come around and then you can arrange things. And we are having a conversation on starting your year right, from the biblical perspective as well as the corporate or the business perspective. And this is an initiative for you as a business person, as an entrepreneur, for you who has an idea, who wants to run a business someday. And this is for you to start it right so that you don't find yourself wanting along the lines. And we have in the studio Reverend Ebenezer Ahinkan Owusu, who is the Public Relations Officer of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, and Mr. Henry Nee Dote, who is also the regional head for the corporate communications at UBA, also for the Anglophone West Africa. And so, yes, I know I'm beating around with your post, but that is him sharing a lot of expert points of view for you as an entrepreneur, and where you can even access opportunities, how you can adjust to the many changes and the risks that are around you. And so we left off talking about adjusting and being humble so that you can collect yourself or pick yourself up when you fall, and not follow or wallow in the debts that you find yourself in. Maybe you take that again.
Let
So
me
we
let me
continue.
add on to it that yes, we need to always make sure that whatever businesses we are taking, we have Christ also in at the back of our mind, so that we integrate God into it. Go into your business as a Christian, work your business as a Christian, and see it flourish as a Christian. In Malachi chapter 10, chapter 3, verse 10 downwards, he talks about the fact that when we are serving God right, God prevents the devil, the one who will come and destroy our business. He prevents him from destroying our businesses. And let me just add on that sometimes there are so many things around us that we fail to recognize. Sometimes you are looking out for, I want to be employed. That is where we get the unemployed association and the rest. I want to be employed into this institution. I want to be put here, what we call the white collar jobs. Sometimes you can look within your mushroom farming. You don't. It may not take you so much to start. Snail farming, it may not take you so much. I was speaking to a friend, a minister friend in a station that he has been to. It happens that snails were all around, and then he started collecting them, and the boys around started helping him collecting them, and he started farming. And he created this, and it is a very big job for him. You can start catfish farming. These things are around us. We can start in small bits and make sure that as we go along, we grow them based on this the points our brother is sharing with us. Then we grow them little by little. Look within your environment, but make sure that if you are stepping into something and you realize that this thing I am wrong, be humble enough. Don't look at people and people will say, hey, what's that when we're failing? No, 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 no. It is a lesson. It's just as he said, it's a process, and therefore in every process we learn. Life is like a teacher. The more we live, the more we learn. When you learn and you realize that you are wrong, you unlearn and you learn the right thing, you step into it and you make it, and you will get to wherever you want your business to be.
There's this thing I heard, 4Fs, fail forward faster. It's better that you fail and then you move forward, knowing that you've learned the lessons. Let me take from you. What can you share with us? We are in the final part of the program.
I'll share two important points.
Okay.
The first one, continue from where I can hear about reviewing and adjusting.
Okay.
You need to set for yourself periods where you would review what you are doing and adjusting. Because we've set out a plan, a strategy. We have reviewed the plan. We've put up the results that we'll need. We have planned our financials and everything. You need to create a certain time frame, be it weekly, monthly, quarterly, whatever time that you think is good for you. And where you step back, you don't need to wait to be failing before you go back. Even if you're on the right path, just be sure that you are keeping the focus. You are following one thing until successful. So set times where you do your review and see whether you are still on course or you need to make some adjustments to your plan. I spoke about being disciplined earlier. And it's famously said that culture will eat strategy up for breakfast. Because if you are not disciplined to keep your path, and you think, oh, it's my own business, so you tend to do things anyhow, haphazard, without planning and following your review processes, you find out that you have a beautiful strategy, you have a beautiful business, but because you're not being disciplined and keeping to a culture that helps you to continue to drive the business, the strategy will be eaten up. So we say culture will eat up, or the bad culture or wrong culture will eat up strategy for breakfast. The final thing I'll say is that a lot of people go into business and they're not necessarily financial people. But once you are putting in money, be it your own money or money from your family or from friends or wherever it's coming from, you need to have some level of financial knowledge. So you understand that if I put in X amount and my returns is Y amount, I'm either making a profit or making a loss, to help you to know the growth or recession of your business. So it's important to have some level of financial literacy. Don't worry too much. People say, oh, I wasn't too good in maths when I was in school. You don't have to fret. It's not a big deal. Create a very simple Excel sheet. And these days, there are so many apps available on the various app stores that can help you to track your business, how much you have put in, what your expenses pattern are, and what you are making out of your business in terms of what is coming out. And those will help you to keep the cost and ensure that your business is growing and you're moving on the right path.
In 30 seconds, what would be your final advice?
My final message for everybody listening to us today is that we must start our year right in our businesses and in our Christian life. Remember, your devotional life to God will propel your business to rise. May the Lord bless you.
Thank you very much, Reverend Ebenezer Hinkano-Wusu, Public Relations Officer of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana and Minister in charge of the El Perez Congregation. And thank you very much, Mr. Henry Nidote, who is the Regional Head Marketing and Corporate Communication for Anglophone West Africa at UBA Group. My name is Mavis Nakole Ayi, and this has been Entrepreneurship Clinic, the January edition, and we look forward to seeing you at the February edition as well. Catch you another time.